Okay. So I think Priyanka, me and Sylvia, thoda we've spoken among ourselves, and of course, someone. Janani will just like to say hi to you.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. If you're okay with it, it'd be nice to, have faces. Yeah.
No, there are 3 4 kids running around here and there, so I was just waiting.
It's okay. I mean, that's the reality of motherhood.
Yeah.
So let
Yes, yes.
it be.
And that's the beauty.
Yes. Very true.
My son is now young, 18 years old. So I like to carry my baby.
Oh, so sweet. Nice.
I'll just do one thing. Let me just call. Okay, Neha is here. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So shall we first introduce ourselves? So that will be a good idea, good start.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just
Let
your name
everybody.
and
Yeah.
what brings you here, right? Maybe just that.
Yeah.
Okay, Priyanka, you want to start?
Yeah, okay. I stay at Mumbai. My name is Priyanka Menon, and professionally, I am a lawyer. I am a practicing advocate. So in the Bombay High Court, and today I'm taking my off, and doing this because I want to share my journey. I found really relatable people here because everybody was talking about breastfeeding and these things. So I could really relate. Like, I couldn't find anybody whom I should talk to. So I thought that new mothers and the people who are here, they may be interested in listening to the stories of the already mothers who have gone through the best feeling ever. So that's why I'm here to share my journey. That's it.
Great. Thanks, Priyanka. I can go next. Hi, I'm Fabin.
Yeah.
I'm a mother to 2 beautiful boys, 4-year-old and 1-year-old. And I know this is my way of paying forward. Like in my journey, I got a lot of support, guidance, and a lot of role models. So I just want to do my bit in, passing that knowledge forward. So,
Great.
Sylvia, you want to go next?
I'm Sylvia Jacob, and I am a mother of boy who is 18 years old now. And when I delivered first baby, of course, I was 34. And my pregnancy was blessing and breastfeeding was beautiful journey. And I got very much support, but I also learned. I asked different people, and community is available, what I feel, and just you have to be receptive to learn. And yeah, and I'm excited to share what I do, how I do, and what I have experienced. So basically, I am a social worker, but I am a coaching now, one-to-one people.
Okay, thanks, Sylvia. Johnny, we just need quick introductions. It's 11:05. We'll start soon.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I am Janani and I'm a mother of 2 angels. The elder one will turn 6 by, it's already August, so she'll turn 6 by this 19th. And the younger one will turn 1 next month. So my first one was a C-section, and second I had a VBAC, natural birth in Birth Village, Cochin. And emotionally, physically, everything, I had a very great support system with respect to family and others. And I got a lot of information from a particular FB group through my own research. And that was, I would say, was very hand-holding the information it had and all that. So I had a little bit of issues with respect to breastfeeding with my firstborn, because it was a cesarean, so she was on formula feed. They did not give me the baby for 1 full day, so she was completely on formula feed. And then having that output and all that, latching was not an issue, but then milk production was an issue. But then I tried push my boundaries, and I fed her till around 4.3 or 4.4, around 4.5 years, where she self-weaned because of few people shaming her, like you have grown so much now that you're a big Christian. So that was the main reason she stopped. But then after I birthed my second one, she wanted to have it again. So I was tandem feeding for a few months.
Great.
And even now and then, even till date, yesterday night also, she was running a little fever and cold. So she wanted that comfort, and she was feeding. So even now and then, I tandem feed both my kids. And that's
Great.
Yes. Someone is here. She initiated and coordinated this whole thing. So thank you, someone.
Yes.
Just someone, we're just doing like a one-liner, who we are and why we are here. You're on mute. Someone, you're on mute.
Hi, I'm Saman. Can you hear me now?
We can.
Yes. Yes.
My youngest, Azad.
Hi.
He's about 8 years old. My friend is here to help me out with the other two. And
Yes.
so my first one, Kaira, I'm from Delhi. I come from Delhi. And when I got pregnant for the first time, the very first clinic that I went to with a cousin of mine, my older sister, the gynecologist there refused to look at me. Like I wasn't worth talking to. And she was directly talking to my sister, and and when I had a few questions to ask, she would be like, why don't you use Google? Why have you come here? And that's when my search for doctors started. And I went from one doctor to another, one hospital to another. I tried the private hospitals, the private clinics, and the government hospitals. And I never went to the same place twice. And I was ready in my last month or something. And that's why when I got in, of course, I knew about Birth Village, but it didn't seem like a very feasible idea to shift base and move to another city altogether with everybody, because it wasn't going to be a 2 or 3 week event. You have to go there before, stay there after the birth, get a place on rent. So, but we were sure that this is not what we wanted. So in Delhi, we could not resonate with anyone, and we ended up at Birth Village, and we had a beautiful birth. I wanted to experience water birth, so I labored in water, but eventually the baby was born on the bed, and we had a daughter. And it was so there. We weren't using phones. It was just me and my partner. My parents were also there. My cousin had also accompanied, and we were so thrilled with the whole experience, of birthing, that we forgot to tell them for the next 5-6 hours that the baby had already arrived. We were very happily breastfeeding and spending time. And Karan, my partner, he passed out because he was in labor. Like, he was actually holding me through every contraction. So he was also exhausted. So we just, crashed on the bed. And that's when, our journey started of natural birthing and all these things. And the second time I conceived, that was when COVID was going on. And we were back in Delhi. And we didn't want to be here because it was a very strict, nobody could step out, and it wasn't a good environment for even a 2-year-old. So we decided to shift base to Goa indefinitely. And that's where my second child was born, with this German midwife who's been practicing midwifery in Goa for the last 25 years, Corina Stahlhofen. She runs the Asagam Birthing Center. So that's where my second one was born. And when we were in Goa, and my parents were in Australia at the time, and they met my second one when he was almost a year old. They got stuck in Australia during COVID. And when they came back, I got pregnant for the third time. And this is when I decided to come back home. I found a midwife here in Delhi who would come and help me with a home birth at home. And Tapasya Kulkarni. And so I live in a 2-century-old house in Old Delhi. So we actually set up, we actually had it set with a pool and everything in place, and nobody found out. And when I started in labor, I decided to go to CP for a walk. And I was walking through the day. And when I came home, I said, everybody, it could happen tonight. So I want you to all rest. And I was very in charge. And I had my baby at home in water in this house. So full
Wow.
circle.
Great. Very
So I'm
nice.
feeding all 3 of them. So I don't know what weaning feels like. Yeah.
Great.
Sorry, that was more than a minute because I had to talk about 3 of them. But who's
Yeah.
next?
It's
So,
perfectly fine.
I think we have Neha, Shashi, and Garima. So yeah, just in the interest of time, we've already 1/4 done.
Yeah.
Neha, you want to go next?
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Neha Kapoor. I am mother to two beautiful children, and one is up with God. So I'm basically a mother to 3 kids. I have been, my kids have been off feeding now. I have a 6.5-year-old girl, and I have a 2-year and a 3-month-old boy. I tandem fed my older one when my 3rd child was born. And even during my 2nd pregnancy, which didn't really end up how it was supposed to be, I was feeding the older ones at that time as well. So yeah, the rest is going to be during sessions, and that's the older one. And she still wants me to feed her. She's 6.5-year-old, and someone who's been a great friend to us. She always tells me that, Mama, someone's still feeding Kyra, who's 4. So why aren't you feeding me? She still wants to be breastfed. But so as of now, it's a no. We'll see when we can change that. If I have another one, I think I'm going to be on the same journey as someone. So we're going to be feeding all of them again.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Neha. So I'm going to do one thing. Let's start the conversations. Other people who have not had a chance to introduce themselves, there's going to be a participatory talk anyway. So when you do start off, maybe you can just introduce, and then, either whatever you want to share, you can continue with that. Yeah. So, so let's start. So yeah, good morning, everyone, and happy World Breastfeeding Week. We're very excited to kickstart this week with our first session. So this is our very first session, Breast Milk is Magic. And thank you all for your lovely introductions. And Saman, again, thank you for, starting this. I'd just like to just say a sentence about what our mission is, and please add in if, there's something you think is relevant. I think essentially it's to spread awareness, to normalize and provide support for breastfeeding journey for mothers. And we want to do it with, real personal stories, because there's nothing more authentic than that. And
Correct.
every mother and every family deserves to make choices that comes from a place of knowledge, intuition, and support. So
Correct.
this is what we are aiming to do. So let's kick off right away. Neha, you want to start? Please. Neha has something very interesting to share with us.
So the magic of breast milk, like how our topic is of today, the magic of breast milk is something that came in very, very, in a very fun way to us. And when our babies fall sick, we very clearly go to doctors, and we always hear them telling us, just keep them on breast milk. It is the best thing for them, and just feed them whenever they need the milk, and that's magic for them. So that is something which was very obvious to me whenever the baby would fall sick. With my older one, I never had any issues, but with my 3rd baby, I faced a lot of issues from the moment he was born. It was a cesarean, and he had apparently he had mouth ulcers. He had sticky eyes when he was born. He had boils, very small, minute boils on his face. And it was the third wave of COVID when everybody was going through black fungus and plasmas and all of that was happening. So just after about 7-8 days of my delivery, there was an absolute lockdown. And like how someone had mentioned, during my third pregnancy, I didn't go to the same doctor. I would visit the doctor. Apparently, the clinic would be shut. The doctor is in COVID. The patients are in COVID. It was so bad during that second phase and the third wave also. So I never had a doctor as such. Anyways, the baby was born. Everything was fine. He was a very healthy, touchwood baby. A very nice, tall baby. But he had a lot of skin issues when he was born. The doctor at the time I was being discharged from the hospital gave me ointments, some liquid that I had to put in his mouth, which I did for a day, and it would be so hard. So I would always have this thing that I would taste the medicine before I give it to the baby. It was so dirty in taste. Be like, this is not what I'm doing. I'm definitely not doing this. He cannot have mouth ulcers. He's just born. And there was this ointment cream that I was given for his eyes as well. For it, they can barely open their eyes. He's just 5-6 days old. How can I put an ointment in his eyes because he has sticky eyes? They would tell me to rub these points so that the tear glands, open up. I would do that. I did not have a proper massage session, like how we have during the Japa, the early 40 days, initial 40 days of delivery. I did not have any of that. My mother and my husband would massage as much as they could possibly. And so we were doing a normal bathing session one day, and I had a letdown. And, initially the breast milk just comes out like a shower. So he was on that small bed, the bed, yeah. And the breast milk just came out, and he was all in glory, and he was like, came for breast milk, and he was having fun. Like, oh wow, this seems nice. You're having fun. So I pressed, and he had more of it, and he enjoyed it. So I did it for a couple of days, only to realize that the sticky eyes that my son was having, that vanished away. The small water boils that he had on his face, that just went away, completely went away. And I didn't notice this. My husband noticed this because I would give so I was just feeding. I was resting myself. Baby was resting. Everything else was being done by my mother and my husband. Right from, once they're out of the shower, to wrap them up, to make them wear clothes, to change diapers, to everything he used to do. So he noticed that, Neha, his eyes are not sticky anymore. And in the morning, very tiny eyes, that also can't be seen. But still he would have issues in even opening these eyes. He had a cluster of, that sticky thing here and here, which we have every morning. And it would be so dry. So even if I would try to remove it with a little bit of oil or water or anything, it would hurt him. So what is the different thing that we were doing? We weren't doing anything different. I didn't realize this. So he's like, can it be possible that this breast milk shower that you're giving him, is that working? Maybe, I don't know. And I didn't use phone for those 40 days. I was very nice. I was always, both my deliveries, I used to follow all, proper instructions by my mother. Take rest, to cover my head, and be nice and all that. So I would do all that. So he did his research, and he came up and he said that this is magic. It can cure a lot of things. Why don't you do this on a regular basis? So I said, I'm doing it. But it was just in a fun way. We discovered this. Then it became a practice where I would consciously, twice a day, hand pump. I never used a breast pump. I just used my own hands, and 2 teaspoons of breast milk, and I would put it all over his face, especially in his eyes here, all over his skin. He had small boils on his face and everything. So I would do that very consciously. And we also started doing this with my older one. she was very happy because she was getting breast milk in any and every form. So she was very happy. As soon as I delivered and I started feeding him, she wanted to come back and wanted to do again. So I was like, okay, fine. So she was very happy. He said, let's do it for the older one also. So we did it for her also. She didn't have any issues, skin issues, but why not? If it's benefiting, maybe it will benefit her in some way. So we started doing this, and by the 40th day, between those first 40 days, his sticky eyes went away completely. That was magic. I never got to share this with anybody. If I talk to someone who's on the same tangent and who understands the importance of breast milk and can maybe do magic, then I tell this story. But like, we found this group, so I really wanted to share this. I don't know if there has been any change in the taste of milk. I of course know that one side milk tastes very nice than the other side because my kids tell me that. And they apparently know the taste. But I don't know that. I've had my own milk when I delivered my first baby. The initial first 1 week of the pure gold that they say, I wanted to taste, so I have had my own milk. But after that, no. But yes, so this turned out to be very, very magical for us. And this is one thing that I can definitely say, that it cured those small boils for which I was given 2-3 creams to apply. I was given this ointment in the eye to put, which I was very resistant to. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And that was all because my husband could make this discovery, because he was always there with me. And he found this out. So I'm sure it can do magic to a lot of things. When we then started breathing, we found out that small ailments, when you have with skin, with issues, with boils initially, it can cure that as well. For any and everything. Then I also found that there were a lot of mothers who would pump at least about 50 ml of milk with 50 ml of water, and they would just pour it from the head running all over the body. The child is this much. Kitna doodh lagega usko. They would just pour it all over and then wrap the baby in the towel, and that's it. You're done. You're good to go for the day. So started doing that, and I've done it throughout for 2 years for my second child, and the older one, she was always ek ke sath ek free mein, so she has had her own good time. So this has been really magical and helpful for me. So I just wanted to share this.
Wow. Great story.
Thank you. Thank you.
I could resonate many of the things because I also did the same thing with my kid.
Yeah, I was, when I'd heard this story, I was
Yes.
telling Neha, one is obviously the magic of breast milk, which is there. What I found really beautiful is how she was showering him with her without, like consciously having an agenda.
Yeah.
Something in her would have told her to do it, and that's what I found like really beautiful in this.
Yes.
So thank you, Neha. Thank you so much.
Great.
So I think we'll have Saman next. Saman, please tell us the magic of your breast milk.
Well, as Neha rightly said, even Kyra had sticky eyes when she was born. And thankfully, we were at the right place, Birth Village. So we had a very beautiful mother support group. And I'm still in touch with that group. And that's where they told us that, so right at the onset, thankfully, I got the knowledge that breast milk was the cure to everything. So be it acne, they had this birth cap on the scalp. My daughter had sticky eyes when she would wake up, so I would just put breast milk. And also we decided not to ever take allopathy. And so we never went to a pediatrician, never went to see a doctor. So breast milk was like breast milk, and skin to skin was our thing. And while I was breastfeeding on demand, it usually would be my husband who would carry the children. through the day, through the night. So he would be holding them a lot. So they would come to me for the milk and go to him for the hugs and I for all of that. So that ways we did good. But it was easier with one baby. Of course, as the numbers increased, the hands we could hold were not as many, and that's why you feel the need of a community. Because people are not so okay looking at a child, a baby, a small 6-7 month old who has 104 fever, and we don't give them any medicine. And they're
Yeah.
like, we don't understand what you're doing. How can you do this to your own child? I remember when Kaya fell ill for the first time, she was about 6 or 7 months old. We really got under the pressure, we came in pressure and we ended up giving her paracetamol. That was the first and the last time. And my husband was actually shedding tears through the night. Like he cried and he said, I don't want to ever do anything that I don't resonate with. So that was the last time that happened. And we started really believing in the power and the magic. And the more we believed, the more it manifested in front of us. My second one, Kabir, he had developed rashes all over his body. And we went to a very good homeopathic doctor in Goa. And he told us our skin is the first thing through which the toxins come out. You should never suppress it. And he also encouraged that I can just put breast milk on it. You don't have to give 4 months, 5 months, any medicine at all, not even homeopathy. So breast milk was a thing, and to go. What was very interesting, what was the really magical part of it was when I got pregnant for the second time, and that's when when people started coming up that now you should start weaning off Kyra. She was 1.5 years and I conceived. And said, no, I'm going to take this through. And of course, I was reading up and I had a support group. So I continued, even during labor, I was breastfeeding. And she used to eat everything. She was really into fruits. And in Goa, we would have the best of, she would go to the market and buy fruits and have nariyal pani every day. Somehow, as soon as the baby was born, she went back to exclusive breastfeeding. And I thought that would be like it'll last a week or something. She's just fascinated because I'm always breastfeeding the little one. But that continued for a few months. She just would refuse to eat anything else. And what I noticed was that in the first month itself, she ended up gaining like 3 kgs. Like she became all chubby, and I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. How my body was capable of producing so much. In fact, there were nights when I had engorgement and there was a lot of milk coming in, and the new baby was not drinking as much. But Kyra would help me like instantly, so I never had any issues with producing a lot of milk. I would just, even if she's sleeping, I would just go sleep next to her, and it's like, they can smell it. Even in their sleep, and she'll come and she'll start drinking. So it was, and now with the third one, of course, so I'm pregnant for the third time, and there are 2 children already that I'm breastfeeding. And people were horrified for sure. But they were like, what are you doing? But the baby comes along, and now I'm breastfeeding 3 of them, and they are holding hands when they're breastfeeding. So it's a very beautiful sight, but frankly, I had no reference point. It's not like I'm experiencing all of this for the first time. There's nobody that I've seen who's done it. There's nobody I know who's done it. Of course, there have been people. I Neha at LSUC who also told me that she has a 6.5-year-old who went back to breastfeeding when the new baby was came along, and it made sense, It made sense because I saw how we have been built to do this.
Correct.
There's just no other way to be and being. So yeah, maybe more when we talk, share more. Thank you.
Thank you, Saman. Your stories are always so inspiring. Yeah, and I think this thing that you mentioned that you don't have a reference, and that's a big thing.
Yes.
right? To yeah, to not have a reference, to not because we are social animals, right? We look at others, mothers, and we learn, and to not have a reference and to go on this journey, I think that takes a lot of courage. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. um yeah, I just wanted to share a little incident like we had. So last month my son, he just turned 1 year. So he had like really bad fever and diarrhea. Matlab, it was like green paint coming out of him. And and obviously, you know how kids are when they're sick, right? They stop eating and they're only feeding. And ek din, do din, 3, 4, 5, 6, like he's just stopped eating, right? And I've not had such a long bout of illness with a child when they've been so sick and they've just stopped eating. So it was really, really worrying me. And coincidentally, my parents were here. They stay in Kerala, but this time this were here. And I come up from a background of cold aya medicine do, cough aya medicine do, sneeze kiya medicine do. It's like that. So my dad gets very hyper, when the kids are sick, and he's like, do something, take them to doctor, do this, do that. So all that pressure was there, but this time, I was also determined ki, nahi, I am going to see this through. So I have given medicine to my kids. But I feel I'm on this journey where I am learning, relearning, unlearning. And this time, I don't know, I was just like, ki, nothing, like I'm not going to do anything with this child. And I remember, like I told you, for 8 days, he didn't eat anything. And what was sustaining me was he's having my milk, and that was the biggest key. As long as he's actively drinking milk, we are good. Because nights, he used to, as in generally, he gets up only every 3-4 hours. But during the sickness, every 1 hour, 1.5 hour, right? And I remember on the 7th day, my dad was just like, we are going to an allopath and things are going so crazy. I was like, fine, let's go. So we all went, like pura jhund, me, my husband, my 2 kids, like everybody went. And that guy was like, "Ki boss, and we had blood in the stools also. Okay. Yeah, that's what freaked my dad out. So we had blood coming in the stools also. For some reason, I was very unfazed. I don't know. I was like, ha, theek hai, blood aaya, theek hai, aaya. We'll see it through. So then the the allopath was like, "Ki boss, you have to give antibiotics." And I was like, no chance. There's no chance I'm giving antibiotics to my 1-year-old baby. See, if he was not drinking milk, I would have thought about it. Okay. But I know, and he said, see, he's not eating for 8 days and he's drinking a lot of your milk. That's because he's not getting any nutrition. And this is the only thing, his stomach is not able to digest. And this is the only thing he's able to have. So I was just thinking, the change in perspective. In fact, a child's body wantingly stops taking food. It's not like then it's an issue, right? Them not taking food is a good thing because digestion takes up so much energy. So when your body is in distress, when your body is ill, the body takes a call ki, hey, you know what? I'm not going to spend my energy digesting food. I'm going to take that energy and heal myself. So the child not eating and feeding, it's a good thing when they're ill. Yes. Right? That's the body doing its thing. So anyway, long story short, we managed to go through that entire thing without giving him any of the allopathy stuff. And I felt because this was a sort of first time for me. Yeah. And that feeling that, when you have a hypothesis and you are like trusting your body and your intuition and it actually plays through, that feeling of happiness, like I was just savoring it. I was like, yes, my breast milk cured my kid. That's it. So yeah, so it was a very nice moment for us. And just Neha's thing, Neha, I have a nanny. She had eye infection and she was using her drop, and I told her, yaar, Didi, वैसे breast milk से भी होता है. So she said, okay, let's try. So the one time I, gave her my milk, and she said the moment she put it, like she gets this very itchy feeling. Burning, yeah, burning itchy. And she said the moment she put breast milk, she can feel comfort. So we started doing that. Every 2-3 hours, I was giving her freshly, I'll squeeze and she'll put. 2 days mein yaar, it went. And she's like, I am Didi, हमें कभी भी होगा तो हम आपका दूध ही लेंगे. Like, definitely, yeah. My mom says, when she was in the when she was young at the village, people come to the house, like if there's a new mother,
Yes.
they'll come asking for breast milk. We have infection, can you give us breast milk? So it was a very normal thing. It's
Yeah.
just sad that such common knowledge is so scarce now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if I have myself exceeded time. So
No, you haven't.
okay. So yeah, so that was what I wanted to share. Priyanka, you are going to next.
Yeah. So hi, I'm Priyanka. I would like to share like how my journey, how breastfeeding is physically, emotionally, and spiritually uplifted me as a mother. And I think that it is not only my story. You will also resonate to the same thing, because physically our body changes when we get pregnant. The glands automatically they start the process, and only our body, the mother's body, knows the gender of the child, nobody else. So accordingly, the quality of milk also differs from the gender of the baby. So that's how, so only our body knows. So the body is working on it. After some time, when the baby is born, you again, the left breast and the right breast, they produce different kind of milk. Like my friend and an Ayurvedic doctor, he told me that when your child is sick and he's not ready to take something or intake, feed him from the left side. And always start, like he told me some things, do's and don'ts for the breast milk, clean the breast every time with the cotton and the lukewarm water, and then only feed the baby. And before that, drink 1 glass lukewarm water, and after that start feeding the baby. So that helped me throughout the 2.5 years to like 3 years of breastfeeding. Like no gas, no upset stomach, nothing like it. Even his teething, my son's teething was very, very normal. And it was, I think, for only 2 days of his diarrhea and something. And that too very natural. I mean, we didn't visit the doctor at all. And we didn't have to do anything extra. Just the milk, just following these small tips. Feeding from the left side and then from the right side. That my friend told me that because he's an Ayurvedic doctor, and he was a consultant to me also during the whole pregnancy and after that. So he told me that first you feed from your left side for 5 minutes, and then from right side from 5-10 minutes, and then again end it with the left side, so that it balances the fatty thing of the breast milk. So when the body, and your body exactly knows. So my question to him was like, if my, because I'm skinny, you can look at me. So if my milk finishes and he couldn't, sustain, and he couldn't eat all those, so what will happen? So he said, no, your body knows exactly how much to produce. Don't worry about it. And the body and the boy, the child and the body exactly knows how much to drink, how much to extract. So you don't worry about that. And that stage, I realized, like 1 month of the feeding, I realized that how our body physically we are. I mean, how intelligent our body is. Like we are way more. I mean, we underestimate the body, the mind, the soul, everything, and we depend upon science to tell us कि क्या है अपना body कैसा है कैसा नहीं है. Why? You just trust yourself, and you will automatically know. The answer will come within you. You don't have to ask Google, or you don't have to ask anybody else. You just ask yourself, is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? And your body will tell you the answer. That's what my journey was. Whatever we felt, whatever problems we had, like small, 1 day of fever. So we used to ask ourselves, I used to ask myself, what is the solution for this? And the answer was ki left breast se feed karo, and the child will be okay. And 2 days mein he was okay. So that was physically, when we see that our feeding, my feeding is making my child grow. I could see something that I'm feeding him, he's growing. So that is the height of a happiness. There's nothing like it. Even I will not eat food, but if his stomach is full, so that is the most satisfying thing, I think, of for all the mothers, getting their child's stomach full. So physically, when we got the changes, like I'll divide this into physical, emotional, and spiritual. So physically, when the child needs it, our physic will help the child's physic grow and give him all the nutrients. And the magic of breast milk has already been talked about. So we all know that only the breast milk, like first 6 months is the most important part. So at that time, physically and emotionally, it is an overlapping thing. Emotionally, you have to be very, very cool while feeding. Maybe the whole day you will be monkeying around. That's okay. But while feeding, to calm your mind. So I used to do like before feeding, I used to barefoot walk on nature on the grass or something, for 2 minutes. I see, you just go there and come fresh. Okay, bad job breastfeeding karne, glass of water le liya, and then start. So it relieves your stress. So you're not passing the stress to your baby. The baby is very happily drinking your milk. I used to read books. I used to read more about breastfeeding and how my body is changing, and I never complained about like the how my body has changed after pregnancy and all. No, nothing like that for me. So when you are privileged that you are a person who is capable of giving birth to a person, and that person will grow into a human. I think that's the amazing thing that is happening. So I used to not feel guilty. I used to feel privileged, happy. It's a duty and also a responsibility towards the nation, towards the countries, towards the nature, that we are producing some human beings. And so being with that responsibility, you have to have a very calm mind, have a very happy. Calmness is not important. Happiness is important. While feeding, if you are happy, the child will smile. My son used to smile while latching. I don't know, but we clicked some of the pictures. But he used to smile. He used to also sleep while feeding. So many things, like with my journey, I discovered that. And also when we breast milk, the mother's stress reduces to a large extent. And many studies have shown different things. But moreover, it's a satisfaction. It's a stress reliever. It's a basic food for the child. The child is only dependent upon you for the milk, for the food, for the survival. So I used to feel so privileged. Okay, I can make a difference. So that was a very big breakthrough for me, when I realized that I am some importance to the world, at least. Not to any, let people complain whatever they want to, but at least for my child, I am everything. So chalo, kisi ke liye to kuch kaam hai. So why not give him 100%? Then emotionally also, it helps us recover our postpartum. Everybody goes through postpartum in different levels. Depends upon how you deal with it and how you acknowledge it. Many things we don't acknowledge. The problem with us is that we don't acknowledge that this is the problem. So you have to first ask yourself what is the problem, and then accordingly you have to overcome that. So postpartum depression is also there. So with breastfeeding, it also relieves, it also gets you cure your own postpartum. You need not go to a counselor, you need not do that. At least for me, it has worked. Then there is also like when you breastfeed, you also feel that you overcome the fear of handling a baby. For the first time mothers, it's like, how should I handle? I'm not an experienced mother. No problem. You are a first time mother. He is a firstborn. You both will manage. No problem. It's okay. But nobody tells us that. Everybody tells us, aise kaise karoge? How can you manage and those stuff? So this is the community where we are supporting each other, saying that it's okay. Whatever you do your way is perfectly okay. Even if you don't do, it's perfectly okay. Even you can't feed, it is perfectly normal. Maybe your child's body and your body have a very good conversation between themselves, and they both decided that the child doesn't want your milk. Maybe that is the reason. We don't know. So don't blame yourself. Don't feel guilty. It's perfectly all right. Whatever is happening with the child and with you. And the one-on-one connection with the baby. When you breastfeed, you have a skin-to-skin contact. You have a one-on-one that nobody else will have. Only the mothers have the privilege of feeding the baby. No other, not the mother-in-law, not the father-in-law, nobody. Everybody will help you will support you in every other way, but not in providing breast milk. So that the thing that is exclusively to you, exclusively. So you should be at the top of the world. I mean, at least I was at the top of the world, that only I can do this. Nobody can do this. For my child, only I can do this. I would third thing I would go to that how it was spiritually uplifting for me. That I've already stated that the happiness is at a different level. I mean, no one can compare. No one can. I can't even explain in words how much happiness and satisfaction it gives to breastfeed your child and see the child grow and see the child recover from the disease, or see the child turn out so intelligent to be, after breastfeeding and all those stuff. Like it's actually a miracle. It's nothing less than a miracle. More than that, when you are when I was feeding him, I used to chant mantras. I used to read breastfeeding books, and I used to listen to instrumental music while feeding him. So that thing came naturally, because love for music was always there, but I did not discover that it was my passion to sing. So recently I've joined a singing class, classical singing class too, for myself. And I'm so surprised. I'm recovering from the shock that I have never discovered these things. But my child said that we'll go to singing class, but now he has not joined. He asked me to join. Now I'm going to singing class. So the thing is that you first spiritually, how it uplifted me. When I used to sing mantras to him, so some of the things, when I couldn't perfectly pronounce it, I used to sing it, in a different way. So that way, this thing, like it was a different. I mean, I felt like what should I say? I felt like I'm a god. Even in fact, I gave affirmations to myself. I thought, I visualized that I am a god who is actually creating a generation. Because a baby is not only your baby. Your baby comes through you, through the mother or through the father or through a family. But the baby doesn't belong to you. The baby belongs to the nature. So you have the greater responsibility of nurturing and giving all the nutrients that is possible to make him ready for the nature, for the world, for doing good things, for saving for doing the good things and everything. So it's a very big, you have to, and creating an asset for not only the country, for the world itself. So when those things came into my mind, I thought that we have a very big responsibility, and accordingly we should be I get the link. So your intentions and those things, whatever you think while breastfeeding, is transferred to the baby through the breast milk. So whatever you think while feeding, before feeding, after feeding, everything is going inside that. So spiritually, that's why in the older days they used to say that while feeding you should be chanting these things, like whoever god you believe in, you have to see the pictures of the god, and you have to sit before them and feed and all. So so that the best thing goes to the child. I think that is enough for me. That was my experience through the breastfeeding journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you so much for sharing.
That was so beautiful, Priyanka. That reminded me of Khalil Gibran's poem.
Yeah.
That, children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a beautiful.
Who belong to you. It's so beautiful and it's so true. And I'm glad that you were able to kind of tell us, like, because, when we talk about personal stories, we tend to get carried away. But an important aspect that you touched upon was how beautifully it affects the mother. Like, every time somebody would say, we've never seen your children crying. And I thought that's how it should be, right? I've seen my children cry through the day, because they always have the breast to go back to. If they are hungry, if they are sleepy, if they are cranky, if they are unwell, they got hurt, they will immediately come and be soothed by this. And the other thing that I that you mentioned, Not in my when I was not happy, when I was chaotic, it would get affected. You know, it would
Yes.
affect children. Everything would
Yes.
start crashing, and then I just have to, give myself a moment to breathe again and start afresh, and things will
Correct.
come back into shape
Positive
again.
things. Yes.
So, and people used to say, I mean, even when I would have an argument or something, and I'd be just like, I'd have a stone face or something, like it doesn't matter. And that's how I felt. Breastfeeding, it's like your hormones are taking you to another zone. Nothing else matters. Zone. You can say whatever you want. I'm in my happy place. So yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Fabulous.
Pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, Priyanka. And I'm glad you also touched upon the fact that, every mother and every child will have their own journey. Now,
Yes.
the couple of us here, right? Each of us have our own unique journeys. So it's important
Yes.
that you honor the journey that
Yes.
you and your child undergo. It may not look like the ideal story. Your ideal might be different from somebody's ideal. But
Correct.
like I said, just try to be true to yourself and
Correct.
see that
Believe.
your choice is coming from a place of empowerment and not fear, right? From
Correct.
a place of
Yes.
intuition and not, a systemic
Guilt.
brainwash. So,
Yeah.
so that's important. So thank you, Priyanka. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Sylvia, we want to hear about Magic of Breastmilk from you now.
Finally.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'm so glad to hear each stories and joy. I can feel the joy in your eyes, heart, mind, and body. So that is very
Yes.
beautiful, very beautiful. So as we are looking for magic of breastfeeding, so all mothers are magicians.
Correct.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes. We have to accept it. And how
Yes.
you shared your story of how you got that touch, how you got that magic, and how you find out that you are a magician. That's wonderful. And I think all mothers are magicians because
Yes.
all what you shared is true. No? Babies belong to this nature. We are blessed that
Yes.
in our home, our babies are come through us. God chosen us. We are privileged
Yes.
to carry that baby in this world. So, wow, that's nice. So just as I worked 30 years in this field and with adult also counseling. So I wanted to share what happened actually when we conceived. When baby is conceived, within 44 hours, even mother don't know. Even for a week, mothers don't know sometimes.
Oh.
But within the 44 hours, the DNA of baby, that cell DNA, carry the information, which is like amazing, amazing.
Oh. Wow.
14,500 miles long written information that cell carry. How much is that? How long it is? It is a half diameter of Earth.
My God.
That means if somebody's job is reading job, 9 to 5 hours, the reading job, that person will take 37 years to read that information.
Oh my God.
37 years. Yes. And we are carrying that baby. How much information is there?
Yes.
So must be, of course, we are unique and each baby carry different information and detailed information. How our eyes is going to be colored, size, and all details. No? Even breast also, if it is a baby, the breast design, breast milk, and how long, and each detail. So we are very unique. So we have to take pride that yes, we are unique and our child is very unique. And you can see that each your children is very different from each other.
Yes.
So this is amazing. And when I came to know this information, I thought, wow. And I can reflect back and see in my work, yes, it is true. It is true. So we don't have to worry. Just we have to listen ourselves, our baby, our body, our mind, our spirit, that what we have to do. We are a magician, and magic will take place.
Yes.
Yeah. So next is the first month, baby brain develop. First month. Now, even sometimes we don't know that mother is pregnant, but the process is started. Yes. And then all organs develop first month.
Oh.
Yes. And baby is totally depending on our nutrition.
Yes.
So when we are giving birth, of course, baby is depending on ourselves and how our milk is perfectly fine for the baby. Nobody knows how much baby need, but our breasts are ready to produce that kind of milk for the baby.
Correct.
Our baby brain develop 20 to 30% in first month.
Oh.
First month. And how much, and baby is depending on our breast milk. So we are doing a magic. Our breast milk is doing magic for baby. Because we are nurturing our children. And first year, 80% brain develop. Why I'm talking about the brain main? No, because it is like a main functioning organ in our body. Yes, all the organs are depending on that. But why I'm talking about? Because we can just connect more easily.
Yes.
And first 5 years, 90% brain develop. So what is happening? It is not the higher education is going to make children intelligent and giving a high quality of nurture. But it is a first day, first month, first year, first 5 years, first 6 years.
Correct.
And baby is depending on our breast. Wonderful.
Correct.
So we are nurturing our babies. Baby, we are nurturing all together. First month is baby's stomach is very small. Very small. First day, baby's stomach is size of cherry. Size of cherry. And see how much mothers worry that milk is not coming. So our 1 teaspoon milk is enough for the baby first day. So we have to take calmness and we have to delight that yes, we are doing good job. With this information, we can comfort so many mothers because the first worry, like Priyanka said rightly, that when we are worried, milk will not come.
Correct.
And we all experience that in our journey. When tension is there, when the some little stress is there, for another reason, but already our baby and we can feel it. and we are not able to produce that.
Hmm.
So first day, colostrum milk is very important. First, even the 1 spoon of milk is enough. Then first 3 days, baby's stomach is size of walnut. How much it is? Like this much. And how much baby can feed? Only 30 ml milk, 30 ml. And how much we are worried that milk is not coming. Milk is enough. Baby is going to be full. But we are worried. And most of the time in the hospital, baby is in NICU. And the stress goes more. So just we have to put, if after the delivery, baby have to put on the mother's tummy, automatically baby
Yes.
will crawl and reach to the nipple. It is a evidence. It is a evidence.
Yes.
So how powerful mother milk is and how powerful baby is. After immediately delivery, see how much labor mother go through and how much pain child go through. But still they have the enough strength to reach to the nipple. And what happened? Milk will not come that time. But the sensation, the connection, mind will get the prepared, hormones will release. After some rest, breast is ready with the milk and baby is ready to take the sucking. Baby will have the energy to suck. That's why immediately after the delivery, baby needs to be on the chest of the mother. Even it is cesarean or normal delivery. Then first week, 5 to 7 days, baby's stomach is size of apricot, like this much. And how much milk can carry baby? 60 ml, that's it. Whole day. If we are giving a 10 ml one time, it is fine. But somehow when mothers see other breast milk story, and when we presume that it is easy, when we will put the baby, automatically breast is full with the milk and milk will come start. But must be those mothers, seen the mother who are feeding the baby in 3rd month, 4th month or 6th month. That time breastfeeding journey is very easy. But we have to prepare mother for the first day, first week, first 15 days, where so many things happening, not about the just breastfeeding, but own health, how to handle babies, and like everything is practical. But we have to just be calm that we are doing enough. Magic is happening. And in 2 months, baby's stomach size is like an egg, this big. And how much babies can feed the, take a milk? 150 ml. 150 ml means 1 glass. If we are feeding a baby 15 minutes, 10 minutes at a time, it's enough. And what is the worry for the mother? Milk is not coming. Baby is not feeding. Because mothers are not reaching a point where they can able to enjoy what Priyanka said. That point of enjoying our breastfeeding, where baby is sucking and mother is calmed down and both are enjoying comfortably. It will take time. It will take 15 days. It will take 20 days. So this journey is smooth and simple, but maybe I don't know how many people are hearing this kind of a story or heard or prepared. So we need to prepare other mothers. We need to just share. And that's why this talk is very important. This talk is very important for our husband also, because they wanted to help us. They wanted to support us, but they don't have any clue what is happening. And we can't explain also our stress because we don't know also what stress we are going through. And we can't express it in a words. So milk is already there. Magic is already taking place. But we are unaware that we are a magician and magic is taking place and everything is fine about the breastfeeding. So how we are doing about time? Because I have a lot of information.
I know, Sylvia.
Yeah, but
I think we want to get a couple of more people in, and I thought it would be good if we can close in next 10 minutes. So, so what we can also do is, because we have the rest of the week also, Sylvia, if you could maybe break down this into other sessions as well. So yeah, thank you so much, Sylvia.
So just I wanted to share, just close down.
Yeah.
So when we are feeding baby, we are giving a protection. Our bodies are with antibiotics, with the mother milks, like already you shared. So we are giving a complete protection to babies. So thank you so much, and we will hear more.
Yeah, I wanted to get two people in, definitely. One, we have Nutan Panditji. Nutan ji, you've been in the birth work since a long time. So is there something you'd like to tell us about, how breastfeeding, how the trend has been changing in so many years and what you have seen? And I think someone you mentioned, Divya, also had something to share. Yeah, so I would definitely like to hear from Nutan ji and Divya.
Firstly, I apologize. Something urgent came up. I couldn't join in time. So I have missed the initial discussion. And what is changed in breastfeeding is a lot of dependence on gadgets. Everybody thinks they need to buy breast pumps and nipple pullers and breast shields and stuff like that. And we used to just feed without all of this equipment. What I feel has changed. So Divya, maybe Divya can share.
Thank you, Nutan ji.
Yeah.
Divya, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your stories. And it's so good to see Nutan ma'am here. Many years ago, I went to her classes as well, and I was expecting my second.
Nice to see you, Divya.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and coming to the magic of breast milk, it's really amazing that I would, in my personal journey, I think the most easiest and the most toughest thing I have ever done is breastfeed both my babies for almost 8 years. So between the two of them, when my son was born, I think I was not very well informed. So I thought, okay, it is going to be 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding and then I'm done. Little did I know that this boy would completely change my world and bring me to where I am today. So when he was a year old, everyone around me was insistent that, okay, a year of breastfeeding is enough. Now you have to wean him. So listening to others, I tried every trick that they told me to try to wean him, but he was very clear. Okay, there's no difference in 364 days and 366 days. This is what works for me. I don't like any bottle, anything at all. So he kind of continued to nurse as strongly as he was literally as a newborn baby. And that's when I actually came across this support group of breastfeeding support for Indian mothers. And I started attending the meetups. And then, seeing a 4-year-old, 5-year-old coming and nursing and going, 3-year-old nursing and going, and hearing the stories about how this orangutan in the zoo was, losing babies because she didn't know how to breastfeed. And they had human mothers volunteering to come sit in front of her, cage to breastfeed their babies. And then she learned. I realized that I had never seen mothers breastfeeding their babies before. Even in the hospital where my son was born, there would be like a nursery. So there would be like 10 to 20 mothers breastfeeding, and everyone would be like, literally, the nurses would come and shove their nipples into the baby's mouth. And there would be a lot of yelling and screaming, both by the mothers and the babies. But, that was like not normal. The one person who helped me immensely was my help. I was in Calcutta at that time, and my Mashi, we call people there who help, she would say, why are you struggling lifting up the baby after a C-section and carrying him and feeding him? Why don't you just lie down and breastfeed? And I think that was the most sensible thing that anyone told me in a long time. It was the game changer, literally. And once I started lying down and breastfeeding my baby, there was no turning back after that. So he went on to breastfeed till he was almost 2 years and 8 months. At the time I was expecting my second child. And I think in the end of the third trimester, he said, Mama, no milk is coming, and he stopped. And after the baby came, he had lost his latch. So he forgot how to drink in a few months. And I used to give him express milk, and he would be very happy. And for him, the milk was like literally. So when I used to take my little one to the park, I remember we were in an apartment building, and an old lady would come and she say, you have such a tiny baby. Can you please give me your breast milk? My, eye is hurting. Like how I think Neha had shared, right? So this lady in the apartment would come. Can you give me a little bit of your milk? I have an eye infection and it's not going with all these medications. So I would give her that. And like I think twice or thrice every 2-3 days she came and she took, and she was like, thank you so much. This has been like there forever, and with this it went off completely in less than a week. So I was like, okay, wow. And after that, anybody at home has any cut, any hurt, any wound, okay, my milk is there. So literally for almost 8 years, I was this magical superpower person at home. For anything anyone wants, okay, my milk is there. So whether it is rashes or anything related to the skin, nothing better than that. Tired, dark circles, my husband, milk. So it was literally like this superpower which I had. And it was most difficult when I was expecting my second, because I suddenly got nipple aversion. And in the pregnancy, I found nursing through pregnancy really stretching it to as far as I could go, because I used to have a lot of pain suddenly, which was absolutely no pain for so many years. And I think what Priyanka was sharing about your mindset when you're feeding the baby, that makes so much of a difference. So I guess somewhere my son picked up that, okay, this is hurting mama a lot, and maybe that's why he self-weaned around that stage. I don't know. So the mindset makes so much of a difference when breastfeeding, especially thinking about how blood is converted to milk and is nourishing this whole human being. Any day they were ill, any day they were having some growth spurt or hurt or anything, it was like, okay, mama's milk is there. We are traveling any time of the day or night, any place. I started using carriers from when my baby was very young, because it's just 2.5 years gap between both the children. So I used to breastfeed my younger one in the carrier when she would just wake up when it was time for me to go pick up my older one from school. So I'm, wearing her in the carrier and breastfeeding her at the bus stop, and I'm waiting for him to come. And anyone is like, okay, oh, baby's sleeping. And if they look at it, they're like, ah, baby's feeding. That used to be like a real shock of people. So, breastfeeding in the carrier was like another very, very empowering stage for me, because then I'm traveling somewhere, I'm in the line in the airport. There's no, I don't need to go search for a room, which I never did. I was happily breastfeeding in public from the moment I was out. Again, thanks to this support group where I saw others nursing. And it was like, why should I go to a toilet or to a separate room to feed? My baby's hungry. I'm making sure to cover myself because that was my sensibility. I mean, I felt that way, but I'm not against a mother who wants to feed whatever way she likes. So, I would just feed anywhere and everywhere for all these years. And my daughter went on to wean her on her own when she was around 5. So at that time also, a lot of people will be like, abhi chalti firti baat kare bachche ko pila rahe ho. How can you feed such an older child? But I was like, okay, that is between the two of us. And I think after she was around 2.5 or something, around that stage, I mean, I stopped telling people because of the opinions and all of that. It was between the two of us. If anyone came home and they saw, or I was outside and they saw, then they would be surprised. But otherwise, like, it's working for the two of us. We are both fine with it. Then it's nobody else's business. And this is how it went.
Thank you, Divya. Kevin, can I add something here?
I think someone probably, yeah, you can add and you can sort of close the session as well.
So everything that you shared about lying down and breastfeeding, I mean, everybody's like, you're always lying down. I'm like, because I'm always breastfeeding for the last 6 years, and 3 of them. So, and the other thing, like when my first one was about 5 months old, we went on a trek up the hill and a good big group of 40 people. And the moment we reached up there, so you can't really carry a lot of stuff. So people had water, but they all ran out of it. Happily breastfeeding, and there, was all the time human. That was because, like you said, your daughter.
Is it not clear just for me or?
No, it is not clear. Yeah, it's breaking. The voice was breaking in between. Yeah.
What? Is it better?
Slightly.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes, yes.
I just want to take Naira.
Hi. Hi.
No problem.
Someone, we can't hear you, someone.
1 second.
Just switched off the camera. I think it will be better.
Video nikal do, aap apna video nikal do. Maybe then you'll have more balance.
No. Okay. Garima to close.
Hi. Yeah, I'm here. Someone. Hey, all you beautiful ladies. I am so inspired listening to each one of you. And thank you for being so vulnerable and open about sharing everything. So to end it with a small poem, like actually, this is a poem by Kefi Azmi, Aurat. And mujhe aisa lagta hai for today's occasion, it would fit perfectly. And so it goes like this. कद्र अब तक तेरी तारीख ने जानी ही नहीं, तुझ में शोले भी हैं, बस अश्क यानी आंसू, अश्क निशानी ही नहीं। तू हकीकत भी है, दिलचस्प कहानी ही नहीं, तेरी हस्ती भी है एक चीज, सिर्फ जवानी ही नहीं, अपनी तारीख का उन्वान बदलना है तुझे, उठ मेरी जान, मेरे साथ ही चलना है तुझे. Thank you. All of you guys,
Wow,
this is you.
that was awesome.
Thank you. That was a wonderful close to this
Yes.
lovely session. And
Yes.
this is just the first one. We have 6 other
More to go.
wonderful sessions coming up, same time, 11 every day till the 7th of August.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you everyone. This really been nice.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Take care.
Tomorrow.
Bye.
Have a good-
Thank you.
Bye.